guys, it's Ariel
And Jason.
from Fix My Books, and today we are gonna talk about how to close a Canadian-controlled private corporation or just a
CCPC.
corporation. Yeah.
CCPC.
Okay, so this is just a normal corporation, guys. This is not like a special corporation. This is just like how you would close
Yeah,
a
your
corporation.
normal company. This isn't if you're a sole proprietor, and this isn't if you're a partnership. So we can get into those. If you want us to do a video on those, please let us know.
Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so we're going to give you an overview of the steps, and then throughout the next couple of weeks we're going to release like detailed videos like regarding these topics,
because each one is quite long. It can get a little dry and boring. There may be pieces of information that are applicable to you and other pieces that are not, but this is just a general high-level overview of these 6 steps so that you can get an idea of what it is that you're going to have to do. And then in each one, there's several sub-steps that you'll have to probably or likely go through.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so first things first, review corporate documents, and I'll go through that now. Okay, so there are 2 things that, high-level overview you need to do. One is to ensure that the corporation's minute book is up to date, and 2 is to review the corporation's articles of incorporation, bylaws, and shareholder agreements for any specific dissolution procedures. So basically, if you set up your corporation properly,
correctly, and so if you don't know what a minute book is right now, you probably haven't set your corporation up correctly, which means you probably didn't set it up through something like owner or lawyer or something like that. So just a shameless plug, if you guys do need to set up a corporation in the future after you close this one, you may want to look at setting one up through owner. That's ownr.co, and we've got a link in the description below.
It gives you a 15% off discount.
And you get a discount with that. But
yeah,
we just find it's way easier to set up a corporation through owner.
And they can file your annual returns each year, so like corporate minute books, stuff like that.
And so you'll know what your minute book is because you'll be able to access it on their website.
So that is an additional fee. So the filing of the minute book is an additional fee with owner each year, but it's just like, it's like a subscription. You pay them, they do it. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah, and then later on, if you do have a more complicated situation with your company, you can always go to a lawyer to redraft all of these items here. So your articles of incorporation, bylaws, shareholder agreements, etc. Minute books can be written too.
Okay. So if you're looking for dissolution procedures, this may be in your bylaws and shareholder agreements. If you can't find any there, that's fine. It doesn't mean, there's an error or something. It just means like you set it up generically, so you may not have any.
What we mean by generically is if you went to Corporations Canada, I'm not sure what the website is. We could probably link it below, but you just set up a corporation
with the government,
and then you thought, oh, it's really simple, click, 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 and I don't really have to pay anything. That's because they're not doing anything for you. You don't get any of this stuff. And so, that's why you probably cannot find your articles of incorporation right now, or your bylaws, or any sort of shareholder agreement, or even your subscription for shares. So you opened a company of which there are probably shares, but you never bought any.
Yeah. So just make sure that you do review this before you start any procedure.
Because you have to follow these rules if you have them.
Yeah.
So number 2, board and shareholder resolutions. So obtain a resolution from the board of directors authorizing the dissolution. So you may be the only director, so you'll be writing this yourself. But if there are several other directors and you actually have a board, then you'll know a little bit more about this, but you have to go through a whole procedure getting all the directors to sign on this dissolution, or however many stipulated that need to be signing in the the bylaws of the company. So the second part is obtain shareholder approval for the dissolution as required by the corporation's bylaws, just like I said, and the Canada Business Corporations Act, CBCA, or relevant provincial legislation. So with this, if you don't have any bylaws and you're really not sure, go to the CBCA website and as well as the provincial website to see what applies to you in your particular situation. We'll get in this into more, we'll cover all of this in more detail in the videos that we produce in the coming weeks, but just generally, if you really need it now, that's what you have to do.
See, this is why we are going to make like an overview.
Because it's going to be much longer
so
than
long.
this. And yeah, there's so many people closing corporations that, you know, this is just relevant.
Yeah. So before anything else, you have to make sure that you settle your financial obligations. So, you know, this is like paying off all your outstanding debts and liabilities, notifying your creditors of the corp's intention to dissolve. So creditors could be literally your suppliers, right? Accounts payable. If you still owe them money, you got to pay them before you close the corp. Number 3 is like distribute any remaining assets to shareholders according to their shareholdings. We'll get into this later, but you know, the accounting equation is assets equals liabilities plus equity. So assets minus liabilities equals equity. So whatever is left after you pay off all your debts, you have to distribute that to your shareholders. Obviously, it depends on like the people who own the shares. So
the
like
percentage of ownership.
Yeah, the percentage of ownership. So if like obviously it's proportion to like the shares that they own.
Yeah. So if you have $100 worth of assets in the business left, and you own 60% of that, so you get $60, and the other person or other people get the 40% share. Just on number 1 and 2, don't do what some people are thinking of doing, which is racking up a bunch of debt in their corporation and then doing something which in Australia it's called phoenixing. So it's creating another corporation which holds all the actual assets, and you dump this one with the liabilities. That is not on. That is, I think it's illegal. It's definitely illegal in the United States if you're thinking about doing it there. It's called alter ego there. You don't want to do anything like that. I don't think we have a term for it in Canada, but it is not cool. Don't do it.
Okay. And then lastly, you have to prepare a statement of distribution of assets. So you have to have some paperwork showing, okay, this is what's left, and this is, you know, what we gave each person.
Yeah. So then filing the final tax returns. This is just what you normally do. So you file the final T2, corporate tax return, and include all the normal schedules and financial statements you need to. You also tick off, just like on a T2125, like this is the final return. You have to ensure that all the corporate taxes are paid, all the payroll is paid, all the GST is paid. So just getting rid of all the liabilities there from the tax side. And then you'll need something which is a little different to your usual year, which is completing a TX19. And we'll get into this later. It's a 2-page form. It's not massive. It doesn't contain a whole bunch of documentation. You're just asking the CRA for a clearance certificate, basically that you've paid off the liabilities. And then you submit it along with just the other documents you've done, so your T2 as well as any other documents they may need, and the copy of the resolution authorizing the dissolution of the company, and that's kind of it from the tax side.
So next is the actual like legal dissolution. This is what everything is preparing you for up to this point. So you're gonna prepare and file the articles of dissolution. You know, when you started, you had the articles of incorporation.
This is not filed with the CRA.
Yeah.
So that tax stuff is finished now. That's all done. This is the closing of the legal entity of the corporation.
Yeah. So you're going to file this with the appropriate federal or provincial corporate registry. You're going to include information required like the corporation name, corporation number, and then the date of dissolution. You also have to, let your employees, customers, suppliers, and other stakeholders of the corporation know, like, hey, we're going to be closing down the corporation. You can't, like, I know there are some legal things to this. It would depend on your province. Like some require 60 days, 90 days notice, things like that. So this is not something you decide and then execute the next day. And then last is you're going to cancel your business licenses and permits since you are dissolving the corporation.
And whilst this slide is like 3 major things, this is quite a long process. You'll find it much longer than just the 2 minutes we've spent on it.
Yeah.
Okay, post-dissolution steps. Now this one, it may not seem important, but it is. So retain the corporate records, including any financial statements, tax returns, and minutes of the meetings for at least 6 years. And that's because if the CRA do review your corporation for any tax returns or anything that you've filed with them, they need those records, and you'll need those records to verify any claims that you've had in terms of your taxes.
So, yeah, this doesn't mean, okay, the corporation's closed, we can burn all the records.
Yeah, we can forget about it. Don't do that. Just keep the records. You'll probably keep them anyway, most people do, and we'll just be going through some best practices on how to maintain and keep these records. And then the second thing is complete the actual transfer of the distribution of any of the remaining property over which you have control as soon as possible after receiving the clearance certificate. So this is just giving out the remaining assets that are left within the company to any creditors that you may have had, or any shareholders.
So I just want to note that just because you dissolve a company doesn't mean you have zero obligations anymore. So we're going to touch on this later on, but for example, if your company guaranteed a pension for your employees, just because your company is dissolved doesn't mean you don't have to not pay that pension out. So that's like a sticky situation that, again, we'll go into that more in depth. But just note that just because you close a company doesn't mean there are no more legal or financial obligations later on down the line.
And this is not bankruptcy proceedings. We're not getting into that. We don't have the necessary legal skills to be able to deal with that. And so this is just what happens when you close a corporation. So this is the high level overview, and the next video we'll get into everything that we spoke about in the beginning of the overview.
Yeah, so the overview took 13 minutes.
Yeah, so it's quite long.
Yeah.
But we're going to cover a lot, and yeah, it can be a bit dry, but just bear with us, and hopefully you'll know how to close your corporation at the end of it.
Hey, so once again, this is Ariel.
And Jason.
From Fix My Books. Have a great day.